Hey everyone, my name is Sybil Nguyen. Some of you may recognize me from Dubsy Coffee over in the Greenbridge neighborhood. I'm also a resident here in White Center. My daughter is currently in school at White Center Heights Elementary, and I am the founder and owner of Dubsy Coffee since we opened our doors back in 2009. And I feel so honored and privileged to get to speak with you today to help celebrate International Women's Day. And to do this, I was asked to speak a little bit on how I got to be where I am. So for that, you got to hear a little bit of my family history. When I was 2 years old, my family moved through White Center. We lived in Park Lake Homes Site 2 at the time, which has since been redeveloped into Ceola Gardens, which is just a few minutes walk from your school, as many of you know. Soon after we moved, and I went to school in Edmonds, Washington, all the way from kindergarten through 12th grade. Soon after I went to college, graduated with a degree in business with an emphasis in management information systems, got a job in the tech sector down in San Francisco, where I realized I finally had achieved everything my parents had set out for me to achieve, which was get good grades, get to college, graduate, find a good job. And for all intents and purposes, all of that was well and good. I had interesting work, great colleagues, got to travel along the West Coast, and even had a nice paycheck. And yet, with all of those things, I still felt like something was missing. And I'm trying to figure out what that was when one day I'm on an airplane on the way home from a business trip, and I happen to be sitting next to a woman who strikes up conversation with me. Her name was Francesca, and when she heard my story, she turned to me and said, "Honey, I was exactly where you were 2 years ago." She also had had a nice corporate job that everybody said she was successful at, and yet she felt like she was missing something. She decided to take a leap of faith and do what she had always loved doing her entire life, which was to dance. She ended up going to AmeriCorps, where she was stationed to be a dance instructor for girls in the juvenile justice system. And she said when she saw what dance did for those young women, it brought something out of her. And she knew that what she had done all her life that she loved could be of benefit to the world. She ended up leaving and getting her master's degree in fine arts from the UW in dance, and she ended up opening a dance studio in Green Lake. So she highly recommended me looking into AmeriCorps, which I did once I got home. Um, I interviewed for a few places in the Seattle area and ended up going with King County Housing Authority, where they assigned me to the position of a tutoring and mentoring center coordinator. Um, when I got the address, I went down, took my brother and my mom with me, and it happened to be right across the street from where we had lived 20 plus years earlier. It was the scariest thing I'd ever done. Never worked with students a day in my life besides being one myself. Um, and to leave something comfortable and known to step into the unknown was terrifying, frankly. And yet, when I got into it, it was the most natural and fulfilling thing I've ever done or experienced. And after doing this for a few months, I realized that students weren't just coming for the homework help anymore. They were also coming just to have a place to connect with each other, and have an adult who cared about them and to ask questions to. This led me into my next few years of work, which were in the field of community and leadership development here in White Center. It led me into an arena that I never even knew existed, much less thought I would ever work in. But after doing years of this, I recognized a need that adults had as well, which is exactly the same as what kids need, just space to connect with each other, a place where you can go just to be. You could read, write, study, or meet up with friends and family, or have that chance encounter of where you never know what will come up of it. So I decided to open up Dubsy Coffee. So Dubsy is really inspired by that experience that I had at the tutoring center. And as many of you know already, Dubsy is a term of endearment for White Center, which I first heard from my days at that tutoring center from the kids that I worked with. So if there's anything I can leave with you today from my story, it would be, as you think about your futures, it would be to trust your heart, and also to be a lifelong student. Like, your head is going to help you figure out how to get where your heart knows it needs to go if you just trust it. And with that, I wish you all the best and take great care of you.